This is my custom built SLO30 amp. I built it a couple of years ago, and truth be told, I didn't use it much after building it. I know, but last year I totally fell in love with it. It has that Soldano thang, and it is so addictive, and it has become my go-to amp. So when my buddy Kirill over at Mercurial Audio messaged me and said, "Jay, we've just finished building a Soldano SLO plugin. You want to check it out and do a video?" I was like, send it over, brother. And man, oh man, as soon as I plugged in, I was in absolute sonic heaven. Howdy everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, it is really awesome to have you guys join us. Now, the Soldano SLO has been an amp that I have chased after for years and years. I've actually built a couple of them. The first from complete scratch. Then I did a modified Jet City JCA 22 into an SLO style head. And then finally a couple of years ago, the good folks over at Ross Amp started making kits of the SLO, and I built one of those. I can hear some folks screaming at the screen right now, why didn't you just buy one? And that's a really great question. Truth be told, I'm a tinkerer and I like to build stuff, and I have always wanted to build one myself. And it's really just that simple. I wanted to build one, so I built one eventually. Anyways, I love the tone of an SLO. It has a specific something that is unique to itself. It resembles a hot rodded Marshall, kind of sort of, but not really. It has a little bit of essence of Mesa in it, kind of sort of, but not really. You kind of get where I'm coming from, right? It is its own thing, and that's what's really wonderful about it. So the good folks over at Mercurial created the SUN100, which is a faithful recreation of the Soldano SLO100 amp. And more specifically, they modeled the original version of the amplifier where the effects loop is actually pre-tone stack. And this actually has some functionality that I didn't even realize until Kirill mentioned it to me. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Mercurial did this by digitally recreating the actual circuit of the SLO so that it sounds and reacts like the real thing. And I'll tell you right now, it does. It's like having my SLO30 inside my Mac. In fact, it's like having a 100-watt version of my SLO30 inside my Mac, which is super cool and very, very, very awesome. And because they went into such fine detail of how the real amp actually works, it does cool things like cleans up really nicely when you back off on your guitar's volume. Check this out. Hey, if you dig videos like this, then this is a great time to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification as well, because I'll have more videos like this coming up, and I want you to be the first one to see them and comment on them, of course. Yeah, thanks so much. And let's get back to the amp, or the software, or the amp. Which one is it? Anyways, let's get back to the SUN100. The SUN100 controls are laid out like the real deal, with a normal channel covering the clean and crunch, and the overdrive channel, which is bat poo crazy gain territory, the best possible way, of course, covering the high gain stuff. Preamp gain for each channel, a 3-band shared EQ, master volumes for each channel, and a shared presence and depth control. The controls on an SLO are pretty interactive, so when you turn up the gain past 7 or 8, you just get more saturation rather than more gain. And then you can play around with the master, which is kind of clean until about 6 or 7, it just adds more volume. And then past 7, it starts to really fatten up the sound. And remember I mentioned that there was a pre-tone stack effects loop? Well, they have included an FX return switch on the plugin itself, which allows you to run, let's say, a distortion pedal or another preamp into the FX return. And then what you can do is use the shared EQ on the SUN100 to shape your tone, and then send all of that goodness to the power amp of the SUN100. How genius is that? I had never even thought of that. Nice one, Mercurial, and thanks to Kirill for letting me know about it, because I had no clue that you could do that. So anyways, if I wanted to send my Mercurial U530 preamp into the power amp section of the SUN100, then I can actually do that. Yeah. The tones from this are hellaciously good as well. When I got the plug-in, I basically loaded it up, plugged my guitar straight into my interface, turned the controls to the same settings as my custom SLO30, which is everything at about 2 o'clock, and there it was, my sound, that easy. Wait up a second, it can't be that easy, surely. It was though. Seriously, that signature growl and grit of an SLO is there in bucketfuls. The plugin just oozes the punch and presence that an SLO has, and it is so lovely to play, and that's a really important thing for me. When I was doing the track that you'll hear in a minute, I had thought about tweaking the tones for the various tracks and the guitar parts that I was doing, but I just got so caught up in playing the tones that I was hearing that I completely forgot to do that. Yeah, and then the track was done. And really quickly as well. Now that's a sign that a piece of gear has really hit the mark for me. If it makes my life really easy and I'm able to just knock out a track in no time, then it's a winner. And this is not just a one-trick high-gain pony either. The cleans are insanely good as well. And you remember when I told you that it reacts like a real amp where you back off your guitar volume and the guitar cleans up? Well, when I did the second clean guitar part, which is on the right-hand channel, that's exactly how I did it. It's not the clean channel, it's actually the overdrive channel with all of my gain, just with my guitar volume on about 3. Pretty cool, huh? This is all wrapped up in Mercuriall's AMPBOX, and this is where I think Mercuriall's genius is. Yes, it has their hybrid 3.0 engine, which is super accurate, and it has all the effects you will ever need: overdrive pedals, reverbs, delays, etc, modulation. It has cabs in there, impulse responses for days, and tweakability which you will get lost in. But it also allows you to very quickly change between amps and audition them right inside AMPBOX to see which one is right for whatever you're working on. You don't have to load up one amp into your channel and then a second one into your channel and then switch the first one off and then the second one on and back and forth, etc. You do it right inside AMPBOX. It's absolutely genius for workflow. And what's more, AMPBOX actually remembers all of your settings on each amplifier. It doesn't reset them when you change over from one amplifier to the other. How incredibly cool is that? So I can check out whether the right amplifier for the track that I'm working on is the SUN100 with the dials all at 2 o'clock, or the 6163S, which is obviously based on the EVH 5150 Stealth with the dials somewhere else, let's say a little bit less mids, a little bit less gain. I love that amp, by the way. Or the 1987 XSG with the dials all on 10. Yeah, and I can do it without losing my settings, my effects, my cab sounds for each of them. Mind-blowing, right? I personally think the folks at Mercuriall have done an exceptional job with this plugin and all of their plugins, to be honest. The overdrive sounds on the SUN100 are just sumptuous and have that clarity and definition. The cleans have that signature Soldano bite and presence, and it is so addictive to play. It makes me play better. It makes me play well. It barks out every note, every nuance, and if I make a mistake, it barks that out as well. And it makes me want to write music and play more guitar. That's really important. So huge kudos to Mercuriall for the work that they have done on this plugin. There are of course other Soldano amp plugins out there which you're all probably aware of. And in my experience, this plugin stands shoulder to shoulder with all of them in terms of the quality of tones and the functionality that it has. In fact, it's actually a bonus that it is built into the AMPBOX environment, which makes workflow very quick and easy. I would love to know what you think of the tones that I managed to dial in with this SUN100 plugin. So leave a comment and let's start a conversation. Check it out on Mercuriall's website. You're not going to want to miss this one, folks. Trust me, it is really good. I will leave a link in the video description box below. Alrighty folks, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Subscribe, like and share the video with your tone addict friends as well. It is time to rock and roll. My favorite part, as always, I had to go high gain hard rock for this one. We don't never do that though, right? So break out your spandex, tie on that headband and rock out like you're on the Sunset Strip, folks. Alrighty, have an amazing day and go get this plugin. Yeah, see you soon with another video. Bye for now.